Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Tab Folder Show. Camille, Praveen, thank you for joining me. How you guys doing today?
Very good, Bruce. Yourself?
Cannot complain, sir. Cannot complain. I even got a nice little haircut for
Doing
the
well
day.
also.
There you
Excellent.
go.
And Praveen, yourself?
I'm doing well also. Thank you for asking.
Great. You seem to be disappearing there on us in becoming transparent.
My shirt is blending into the background. I just noticed that.
Well, you'll be the invisible man for this show.
Guys, thank you for joining us today. Let's go ahead and don't forget, this little guy right here allows you to follow us every time we have a stream every week. You'll get access to all the links and assets that you'll see. Camille will go ahead and share that we have during our streams every week. This is something that you can use if you do something regarding podcasts, regarding live streams. This will help out to give almost like a second screen experience, as well as sharing a collection of links if you've done some research and you happen to be talking about it on a blog or a podcast. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and start off with the topic of this week's show.
Sure. Thank you, Bruce. So this week I have kind of two items on the agenda, starting with reinforcement learning. And this is just a quick introduction. What we've created is tabs folders share with regards to reinforcement learning and its artificial intelligence. So we have it categorized links into advanced, introductory, intermediate, and advanced, basically. And so for our users who just want a basic introduction, they can go here. Intermediate and advanced is the full, some links with kind of deep learning research that's come out in the recent months. So it's not a huge extensive list, but we could be extending this in the future. It's just an example of how you can sort and share data quickly and links to information with tabs folders. And I wanted to start then with some videos that we've prepared for you about what reinforcement learning is. So I'll start with some excerpts from YouTube and play the first one right now.
Welcome back. So I'm really excited to do this lecture on reinforcement learning. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Those of you who know me know that I love control theory and machine learning, and reinforcement learning is kind of at this sweet spot between these two super important fields. Okay, so reinforcement learning is essentially a branch of machine learning that deals with how to learn control strategies to interact with a complex environment. Okay. And so one of the ways I think about this, the way I'm going to define this, is that reinforcement learning is a framework for learning how to interact with the environment from experience. This is a very biologically inspired idea. This is what animals do. So through trial and error, through experience, through positive and negative rewards and feedback, they learn how to interact with their environment. Okay, good. So before I jump in, I want to show some motivating videos. I really like this one, where reinforcement learning is used to learn how to walk in this artificial environment. And there's a lot of papers like this where people use reinforcement learning as kind of an optimization framework to learn how to control a complex system, in this case, a bipedal walker, often in a simulated environment. And this just looks really cool. And it's a difficult control problem. This is a really hard nonlinear control problem. Now, the goal would be to take what you learn here and start to port that over into the real world to make better robots and better actual physical agents that can interact with the world alongside us, to learn how to learn like humans and animals do.
So that was a little bit of kind of theory, and I believe that the person who just played is a professor at the university. So he gave an overview of what reinforcement learning is and how it can help us with robotics and AI. But he did mention that there was reinforcement learning comes. This is what animals do. And I have another quick video that I wanted to play for you that shows this in action. Here we go.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Thank you. So there are a couple of things here that from this short video, you're kind of seeing the end result. And the very important thing is how this actually, how this magpie learned to bring bottle caps. That, as you saw, it brought the bottle cap twice. So it's not a, not a random thing that it just picked up on the ground and dropped into the hole. The magpies were taught to bring specifically bottle caps. Now, how they were taught to do this or learned actually by themselves is very, very cool, because the experiment started with a table like this, with just some bottle caps on the table and this hole, and some food sprinkled around the bottle caps. And what the magpies initially were just walking around the table and eating the food, but then they realized when the food ended that by a random chance, when they dropped a bottle cap in the hole, that some more food pellets came out of the tube. And of course it took a few months for them to learn this, but they weren't being instructed or shown how to actually drop the bottle caps into the hole. It was by chance that they were walking around and the bottle cap dropped, and they noticed it by themselves. This is the key thing. And this is how reinforcement learning works with AI as well, that you're not actually telling the computer or the AI along the way, look, this is what you're supposed to be doing, the steps ABC. You're just letting it randomly play a game, for example, and all you care about is the end goal, the positive reward, which with the magpies is getting more food dropped out of the hole or of the tube. So it's the amazing thing about the reinforcement learning AI systems is they work the same way, that all you have to do is give them an end result, and you don't really know how to get there yourself. And this is the key, that I mean, in this simple system with magpies, yeah, it's pretty obvious, but there's more complex systems like robots walking that we don't actually know how to get there, because we've never done this, that nobody achieved this before, as compared to now Boston Dynamics with their walking robots, Atlas, etc. They've achieved it in this way, that they've given AI millions and millions of runs of training and teaching the AI how to walk by basically installing it in the robot with sensors, and the robot was walking and falling over and getting up and walking again, and this process allowed the robot to learn by itself without people really knowing how to program walking, right? So I have another example of this that shows it in an example of Pac-Man, where it learns, an AI, deep reinforcement learning AI, learns how to play Pac-Man totally by itself. So let me just play now the beginning, the first bit, when the AI is totally untrained. So sorry, that was a very short clip, but in essence, it showed that the AI wasn't sure what it's doing. It was stopping in the middle and then just moved right into a ghost and got killed by the ghost. Pac-Man got killed. And now after 5,000 runs through the game, here's how it actually played the 5,000th round of Pac-Man.
Hey, Camille, we're not looking green. Can you please share that with us?
We're seeing the screen. Praveen, we're seeing the screen right now of Pac-Man.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, he's super aggressive.
Exactly. So, I mean, the timing was that it was waiting there, going back and forth, waiting till the ghost was almost right on him, and then I outran it around the corner, etc., and won the game. And then as you go on to more and more of these games, it's basically just kills the ghost, that it gets, I think, better than any human player can do. And this is or has already happened with chess, Go, I believe. Most of these domains, AI is taking over. That it's better than people. So why I wanted to kind of give a little intro about the topic is that if people are interested, this is a very hot topic to get into, programming, etc. There's a lot of jobs being offered in AI and reinforcement learning. But we also plan to be using this in TABS folders. We already have an algorithm that's used for our search that will be released in TABS folders 2.1, that it's going to search your tabs and bookmarks and actually the context of pages for semantics. So you can type a sentence kind of or a concept that you're looking for, and TABS folders will find that concept in web pages instead of just the text. So this is what Google does this as well on a grand scale, but with Google it's very hard to narrow or zero in on on things that you're looking for, because Google has to search the whole world, all their databases, in basically half a second, give you the results. So it's impossible for them to do deeper searches, deep AI searches, because a search like this might take 2, maybe 5 minutes, or if you're searching thousands of pages, it could take a couple of hours. However, if if you don't care to get the results right away, but you actually want the results filtered, this is something that could be useful to you. For example, if if you're looking for even something like as simple as pricing from different websites that you're looking to shop for something, and when you type it in Google, Google returns you all those sites, and then you have to click on each link yourself with 50,000 results, even though the main results could be in the first 5 pages of Google that you're looking for. That's still I don't know, 50, 60 links to click, and for you to take the time to actually read them and search for the text that you're looking for. So this is something that we are planning to add to TABS folders 2.1, so that it'll help you search better and deeper and save your time. Maybe use your computer resources a bit more, and your computer will work for 15 minutes or half an hour, but you will save time because you'll get the results, only the results that you're actually looking for, and not the extra data that Google returns a lot of the time.
Anadil says it also sounds similar to history search. I haven't had a chance to play with it. Anadil, could you let us know how is it basically the contextual results that come from smart searches, or the assistive results that come from searches that maybe history search can provide? Give us a little bit of context for those who might not be familiar, like myself.
Bruce, so I've actually used history search briefly. It was an AppSumo deal, I believe, a couple of years ago. From what I remember, like I said, I just used it briefly for maybe a few months, and then I stopped using it and forgot about it because I wasn't really making that much use of it, and I just didn't want another Chrome extension on my browser. But anyway, so I just remember what it did was it would just save all the links that you visited in your browser, and if you were trying to remember like a specific link that you need to go back to but didn't save, if you can remember anything on any of the pages that you visited, then you can just type in that word, and history search is, at least ideally, it was supposed to give you back all the results of any words that were on that page, pages that you visited. So you don't have to remember like the page title, or you don't have to remember the specific domain of the URL that you visited. If you can remember like anything, and it would automatically retrieve back that link.
So there it is, Anadil. History search extracts data from the web pages we visited and can search any text from it. So I guess we could think of it kind of like OCR scanning from the web as we visit those web pages, and then searching the results of the OCR scanning of the websites we've searched.
Yes. So basically, we will be able to do that because all the links that you save in your session history, they're there, so we can go through all the unique links and search your history, go out to the pages. That's one way to use this, but we're actually looking at more proactive search, in that you're actually typing a new search. It's not something that you've seen before. You could call this the long tail searches. What's the term usually for this type of search, where this isn't a search that will appear on the first 5 pages of Google. This is something that will be on the 10th, 15th page of Google, and we will be actively actually searching those sites to find links that you'd never get to as a human, because nobody clicks to the 15th search page on Google.
Right. Yeah. Right. That.
So that's, and as per, that was a question, I believe, real AI or.
I was going to put that up there too.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good one.
So we have a trained language library on semantic searches that we're using. So it is real AI in essence, that we're using a trained library. Whether we will add training on your own links and whether that will help, that depends. As in, if you want to do a history search, then yes, training of the model on your own data from your searches will be beneficial. But if you're looking to do a new search, then it won't be beneficial, because it's something that you've never searched for. So therefore, we are using for now trained libraries that have semantic language training already built into them, and we're using those to help with the searches.
So I guess that answers the question: real AI or AI by name. So that's real, but there's also thousands of different ways that you can use artificial intelligence too, guys. So keep that in mind. You don't have to have like a full-blown artificial intelligence avatar just to think, oh, that's a real AI, right? A lot of times it's working or processing in the background. It's not something necessarily visual, but that doesn't mean that AI is not necessarily involved. But Camille,
exactly. I mean, the distinction, like there's different types of artificial intelligence. Again, deep reinforcement learning is one where you're building models. You can use pre-built models. You can also there's statistical based AI, which actually is more based on mathematical models, and it actually works better on some data sets than deep reinforcement learning. Then there's, of course, simple history search, like simple search from a database, like what it sounds. Praveen, you were talking about the history search, that basically all it did was save the web pages, the text from the web pages you visited, and then did a simple search on them, not a semantic AI-based search. So that would be a simple search. I mean, I don't know if they use semantic search or not, but in essence, that you could accomplish what you described with a simple database search if you only stored all the text that you were actually text from all the websites that you visited. So you could just type some random words that are part of those texts, and the pages would pop up. And the more text you typed, the more words, then the higher the chance that you'd actually find that in your search history text. So it depends. AI could be used for that and not, but that's the basic difference. With real AI, you are using training, whether you do it yourself or you're using trained models that have been pre-built by other AI researchers. That is real AI, as long as you're using computer learning to do the searches and the semantic matching, etc.
On that note, Guys, don't forget that just like every week, we also have our weekly giveaways. I just put up the banner right here as a quick reminder. So for all of you who might be watching and haven't left a comment, please go ahead and do so now. And you're also going to give, there it is, StreamYard permission to go ahead and highlight your name and share your profile photo. Because if you don't, and you're listed as Facebook user and you happen to win today's giveaway, we don't necessarily know who you are, so we won't be able to give the today's giveaway to you if you happen to be the winner. So on that note, guys, don't forget to leave your comments before the end of this stream, and pretty soon we'll be having our weekly giveaway. So thank you for joining us and tuning in.
Great. Thank you for mentioning that, Bruce. So that's the conversation on AI. Again, you can go into the live stream links, as Bruce was saying, on the QR code at the top of the screen, on the top right of the screen, well, that link will get you to today's date. The live stream title is called Reinforcement Learning and 99% Memory Savings. And so that's a little bit that title as per